This is Defenders 105. It's written by DeMatteis, and I have reviewed a lot of the other issues in his run. And this one is, for me, the last issue in what is a great run on this book. The next issue, issue 106, a major character is killed off, and the Smurf here replaces them on the team. This issue is also a sequel to the Avengers story with the Resurrection Stone. I covered that one a few weeks ago. In this one, we have got Doctor Strange from the Defenders, the Smurf from the Excellent Men, Mr. Fantasticals from Fantastic Force, and then elsewhere in a subplot, it's Satan's son, also from the Defenders. So you'll notice from the cover, there are very few Defenders in this comic. There are so few, in fact, that they've actually included Mr. Fantasticals on the corner box, and he was definitely not a member. He has never been a member of the Defenders. This is like one of the few issues where he could be considered such. Good splash page here showing the characters again: Satan's son, Doctor Strange, the Smurf, Mr. Fantasticals, and that is the Resurrection Stone there. And in that other video, I never explained what the Resurrection Stone was, because, well, the clue is in the name. It resurrects dead people. What happened in that issue was the Smurf, his girlfriend, died. And then there was the Resurrection Stone, and he went to Mr. Fantasticals. At the end of the story, he went to him for help in trying to bring his girlfriend back to life. And then in the issue before this one, Defenders 104, maybe the one before that actually, there was like a little 2-panel sequence where someone knocks on Doctor Strange's door and says that he needs Doctor Strange's help. And that was the Smurf. And his joining the Defenders is a signal of the end for me. I just didn't like him on the Defenders. He's really only there because he was written out of the Avengers, and he was really only in the Avengers because he got written out of the Excellent Men. And on the Defenders, he is redundant. There are other characters who cover a lot of what the Smurf does as a character. The big one being Etrigan the Demon, Jason Blood. He was a new character that DeMatteis introduced in his run, and he really does cover a lot of what the Smurf does. Then we've also got the Hulk. There's a bit of crossover there with them both being monsters. And the book, it goes really hardcore on integrating the Smurf into the cast. He becomes like the team leader, and he's in the book until it is cancelled with issue 152. I didn't mind this story here though. I think if this was just a guest star story, if the Smurf, if he left the book after this issue, it would be fine. The Smurf, he has gone to Doctor Strange for help, and there is his dead girlfriend in a tube, and Mr. Fantasticals in a lab coat, and they've had to turn to Doctor Strange because there's little that science can do to help her, so maybe magic can help. Here we're getting the backstory from the Avengers issue, a little boy who went nuts, advert there, and the Resurrection Stone, we saw that its power was corruptive. It made that little boy become a deluded messiah, and it made a poor Jewish man in a concentration camp, one of them theme parks in Germany, it made him be in denial, and he wasn't going on any of the rides. So obviously these superheroes, they aren't going to use the evil magic stone to bring back the Smurf's girlfriend. And they decide as a last ditch resort to try and go inside of the stone, to shrink themselves down and go inside of the gem to try and glean what about it makes it work, as a means to try and copy or recreate its effect to help the Smurf's girlfriend. There's also a subplot with Satan's son. It's all about Satan's son and his dad Satan. And Satan, he wants Satan's son to embrace his dark heritage, to become all evil and shit. Like here, Satan wants his son to kill a little baby, just like Jim Curry, the anti-vaccinating baby killer Jim Curry. But Satan's son, he refuses to, and he fails all his tests because of his human side. He is too pure and too noble, he won't kill the little baby, and Satan is getting really fed up of his son for being so goody-goody. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange and two other characters who are not defenders, they journey inside the Resurrection Stone. Very trippy stuff. And Doctor Strange, he finds out that the Resurrection Stone has a malevolent sentience and it has got like internal defences against them. And also inside the Resurrection Stone is adverts, and the stone, it kind of comes to life defending itself. One element that I do like is this isn't just the Defenders, it's quite a logical group. They've got one of the big science geniuses in the Marvel Universe with Mr. Fantasticals. They've got Doctor Strange, the chief magic guy, and even the Smurf. He is there for the personal connection, but he has some knowledge and scientific background. So I do like that this group, it's very logically three smarty pantsers involved in this story about trying to cure Smurf's girlfriend. Although part of us wishes that Aunt Gordon was there as well, or Iron Man, especially since the Smurf is better friends with both of them. Meanwhile, we've got some more stuff with Satan's son, and Satan explains what's going on here. Now, Satan's son, the hour of your crucifixion is at hand. You will be hung upon a cross of demon flesh. Death will be slow and painful. Then in 3 nights you will rise, your human half expunged, your soul completely mine. Talk about religious symbolism, eh? And he even fails at this test and he refuses to submit. And as you can see here, the Resurrection Stone, it has constructed the form of like a crystal woman, and this is like the heart of the Resurrection Stone. It's the presence that was seducing people who used it. I will say, in this it's more a case that the Resurrection Stone is sentient, that it is like a living thing, that it has some sort of evil personality, and that wasn't really suggested at all in the Avengers story. It was more people went mad with power when they had the stone, and I think I preferred that. It was just like a magic stone, and I really did prefer that. All 3 of them, they are quickly defeated. They are transformed into like crystal beings to feed the Resurrection Stone. Their life energy will feed it, and it all seems hopeless. They're trapped inside a stone and converted to crystal. Over in Hell, Satan's son, he rejects his dad. And something else I loved about this run, Jim DeMatteis and editor Mark Griswold, I assume mainly him, they came up with a fantastic retcon to explain away some minor confusion. As you can see here, they said that all the different takes, all the different designs and stuff for Satan over the course of Marvel's history, they were all the same Satan. So here we have got this Satan here. This is the original Satan from the first Ghost Driver comics and the first Satan's Son comics. This one, he is from Swamp Thing, I think. The one after that, this is just kind of like a generic design that had been used to depict Satan sometimes. Including earlier in this issue. There it is, there. And the very last one, that is kind of like Marvel's main Satan. He's from Silver Surfer Man comics. He's from Infinity Gauntlet. He's easily the main one, and The idea was that all these, they are Satan, just in different forms, different disguises, and that is a great retcon in my opinion. It doesn't break anything or discount anything. But of course, they fucking retconned that retcon and made it so that there's like 10 different unique Satans. Satan's son, he turns his back on his father, and there's this great bit here where Satan claims to be God. And Satan is like his other half, the darker shades of God. Darkness served its function in creation, Satan's son. Its role as important as light's. Man evolves as much through adversity as through benevolence. Suffering is as instructive as bliss. Pain blinds man to this truth, but the truth remains. The opposites meet. Duality merges. Good and evil serve the same eternal one. I don't know how I really feel about that. I'm not religious, but I think that is at least an interesting take or idea. And obviously, one reading is that Satan is just lying through his teeth. He's Satan, he's evil, he's a liar. So Satan's son, he is cast out of hell, banished from hell. He goes back to the Defenders, he goes to their base, Doctor Strange's house, and immediately he senses the evil radiating from the Resurrection Stone and all its evilness and stuff. But well, he managed to resist Satan himself, so I doubt the stone can seduce him, and he immediately decides to just destroy it. And fortunately, Mr. Fantasticals, the Smurf, and Doctor Strange, they are freed by doing that. Very, very lucky for Satan's son. And to continue with his uncanny luck, Satan's son, he's able to revive the Smurf's girlfriend. It's not really explained how, he just heals her with magic or something. But it is a happy ending, and Satan's son, he gets to feel good about doing something that doesn't reflect his parentage. Next, the war to end all wars. More like the issue to end all runs. I'm over exaggerating a bit, it's alright. It's a crossover with Captain America. I just didn't like how they kill off a main character and give his spot to the Smurf. Here is Captain America selling fruit pies. Brilliant, that. I like this one. DeMatteis, he had a nice little bit of cross-title continuity thing going on between this, the Defenders, Captain America, Spider-Man, filling issues on stuff like Avengers. And it's really quite satisfying to have read that Avengers story and see it come back and have some payoff in another book. It's kind of like the appeal of the MCU, I guess. I didn't really like the MCU. And as depressing as I'm making it sound that this is the end of a brilliant run, I want to focus more on the fact that there was a brilliant run, rather than it ended with this one. This is a good story, some good stuff with Satan's son, a nice bit of wrap up and some continuity. I rate this one 7 thumbs up.